Alright, as you can see, I've opened up Reaper, and I'm going to talk about some of the basic attributes of the program right now. This gray area, light gray area across the middle, which takes up a lot of the space, is something called the Arrange area, and this is where you're going to display your audio and MIDI files that will come up. This will make more sense when we start working with the program. And then the dark gray area to the left is where you'll see your tracks. They'll appear as we start to add tracks. And you can expand or contract these two windows by hovering your mouse in between the two areas, and it'll turn to a left-right arrow, and if you click and hold, you can drag it and expand the two windows. This will make more sense when we start adding stuff into the left column. Across the top, we have something called a timeline up at the very top of the light gray area, and mine is displayed in measures and beats. Now, to change that to something else, because when you're working with loops or other things, sometimes you want to view it in samples, seconds, a lot of different things that we'll work with as the course unfolds. And you go to the View pull-down menu across the top, and you're going to select Time Unit for Ruler, and in this case I'll set it for samples. And now this will make no sense, but I'm getting a samples timeline across the top. So I'll set that back. So I'll go to View and go to where is it? Time Unit for Ruler, and I'm going to select Measures and Beats again. Now, and again, once we start working with looping and everything else, it'll make more sense as far as changing the timeline. Now, across the left-hand bottom right here on the second area, we have something basically called a transport bar. And this is your play, pause, stop button. For those of you that had cassette players, which I'm sure none of you did, these were the controls on a cassette player. And again, if you toggle your mouse over each of these buttons, it will tell you exactly what they do. And we'll be working with these as the course transpires. To select an area, or to select something, it's not going to make much sense because we have nothing in here, but if I click and drag, I can now select an area across this to loop and play back. Once we have something in here, it'll make more sense, but this will give you just an overall view of what's happening. Now, to get rid of it, just click and drag from left or from right to left, and it will disappear. Once you select an area, it will also tell you down in the lower right-hand corner what area you've selected. And you can also put in your own selection by clicking in the box, and I'll say measure 1 to measure 100. Hit the return key, and notice now this is all selected. I mean, I probably made it a little big. Let's go to measure 1 to measure 10 here. And we'll make it a little less. So there, it's measure 1 to measure 5. Now I've selected this area, and I can contract and play with it the same way. So that's just some basic functions of the program. Just experiment just with these, get used to it, and we'll go on to the next tutorial.